Yeah, Knights 26, Sharks 22, Storm 20, Roosters 4, the mighty Manly Sea Eagles 36, the Gold Coast Titans 0.
What happened there?
Somehow they've all turned up this week. The Rabbitohs 18, West Tigers 14. Tom Burgess scored a try and ran for 206 metres.
A very important try. David Hunter said, "What a game." Pause for effect. Now that is over. Tigers were great and deserved to win this.
Alan Walker said, "Wow-wee, I love the look on Madge's face when he saw the Dick's fingers keep hold just long enough for the bunker. Priceless. Another stuff up for the Tigers after dissing Tommy last week. Karma. Another fine for Trell. He should have picked the Skippy twat proper. Another heroic effort for Cody with a busted shoulder. Another 2-pointer for Renault. Easier than shelling peas. Another 2-pointer for the Bunnies. Glory."
Yeah, it was golden point, wasn't it, I think, when Tom Burgess just about got downward pressure. Raiders 10, Eels 35. Williams with a try. Hodgson with a try assist on that Williams try and 53 tackles. Sutton with 153 metres and 45 tackles, so went both ways there. And Whitehead also played.
David Hunter said, "When the Eels are flying, they're electrifying. Nobody going to stop them when you hear the crowd roar. Great win after the poor performance last week. Dominated the middle and played attractive footy. Canberra never looked in it in the second half. Mitch Moses with the ugliest field goal maybe of all time. I think your man Pat Richards probably got a few of those. But Papuli was the buy of the year."
Alan Walker said, "Els bounce back to bite Raiders. Shows that Els are flat track bullies who whack teams outside the top 8. Skis dirty boys need a clean out. New 9, 7 and 6. Fuck off. Charles is good though. A new spine will stop them bending over so quick and give them some direction." He comes at, I really like Alan. He's an entertaining guy. He's a top bloke, but he comes out with some nonsense. Dally M winner at 6, and George Williams has been nothing but good for them at 7. I think a lot of people are getting on Josh Hodgson at the moment, and he did make some really shit decisions in the second half and got whipped off sharpish after them, and maybe should have been whipped off before him. But he still had a reasonable impact on the game. And the scoreline's what it was, because the last 20 minutes, really, the Eels the last 10 minutes, the Eels padded it out. I don't think it's drama time yet for the Raiders. I don't think it's clean out time.
Finished Dragons 14, Warriors 20, Cowboys 30, Bulldogs 18. Luke Thompson making 148 metres.
Yeah, and David Hunter got in touch to say this was supposed to be a snooze fest. Instead, it had everything. First send-off of the year, and a team looking directionless with 13 looked better with 12. The Bulldogs were brave, but just not good enough. I don't know who they beat. Probably my team. Ugh.
Yeah, in terms of the standings, the 100% 6 from 6 Panthers are out on top. Rabbitohs and Eels come next with 10 points. Storm, Roosters and Dragons are on 8 points ahead of the Titans, Warriors, Raiders and Knights on 6. Sharks, Sea Eagles and Cowboys have 4 points. Broncos and West Tigers have 2 points. Bulldogs are winless and bottom.
If you'd have told me 2 weeks ago that Manly and North Queensland would have 4 points on the ladder, I would have said no chance. So maybe the Bulldogs will get a win from somewhere. And can the Dragons keep it up?
No, almost certainly not.
No.
It's St George.
Yeah.
They'll disappoint everybody.
But good bounce back for the Eels and still going strong for the Panthers. Okay, that's that. We'll move on to the predictions now. So we start off Super League Round 4 on Thursday night with a 6 PM kickoff for those lucky enough to have season tickets, so be able to watch it on our league. It's Wigan versus Castleford, and I think it's both of them's toughest test so far, Tim. It's a hard one to call.
Yeah, it is. I think it's the two teams that have carried battling on through the various adversity. One of them being at the Castleford, the other being the injuries that Wigan have had. So I think it's going to be quite a game. It's one I would like to have been able to watch, but nevertheless. But I think I'm going to go the hometown team for this one.
Fair enough.
By 8 points.
I think Wigan too. I do think Cass have scored a lot of points, but they probably haven't come up against a defence as good and as resilient as Wigan's yet. I kind of hope we'll start to see some strike back in the Wigan side as the weeks go on, and I expect Bevan French to play, but maybe on the wing as he's building his fitness. Probably see him playing outside Isa and Bibby switching to the left outside of Farrell or maybe Gildart. That'll help Wigan's attack if that's the case, but Wigan's defence I think will be just good enough, I hope. Wigan by 6. Later on Thursday, one we all get to watch on Sky, 7:45pm kickoff, is Huddersfield versus St Helens. Surely it's St Helens by 3 or more scores?
At least, yeah. I mean, you can't look anywhere else. It's a question of who's scoring rather than who's winning, I think.
Friday 6pm, Salford versus Lee. Now, this is two of the winless in Super League sides. I mean,
Spoonerpalooza, isn't it?
It's got the potential to be. Wakefield might want to be in that chat, but and Hull KR aren't out of it. But these two have looked rough so far, haven't they?
Yeah, and I don't know which way to go. Which way to go with this? I think Salford, but by a small margin, by 2 points.
I think Salford by a big margin. They've already beaten one Championship side by 80 points or so. So 70 odd points. So why not another? I think Lee have got too much to figure out at the moment in terms of where they're going to play people. I think Salford know where they're going to play people. They just don't necessarily know who they're going to play in those positions. I think Salford have got a bit more quality, and that's why I think they're going to win. That's that. Also, Friday at 6 o'clock, another game that I think probably would have been good to have on the Sky options here. Hull KR versus Leeds, the Danny Maguire revenge game.
Yeah, I mean that could be an interesting one. The halfless wonders versus the half-wit wonders. If Jez Litton's playing anyway. It's a hard one to pick.
Well, who's going to play? Who's going to play in the halves with Paula? Is Takarangi going to be fit?
Who knows?
Everyone else is out on loan.
Yeah. It's going to be a good question because between injuries and loans and everything else, it's going to be a bit of and bans for Mikey Lewis. It's going to be wait and see. I'm sure Tony Smith will have some bright idea.
He'll just find a third hooker and actually play them at the same time, whereas Leeds will stick to this rotation. I think Leeds have got the more consistent pack, and with Aledzki, with Pryor, with Dwyer and Leeming, I think they're more consistent rather than as sporadic as Rovers are. So I think Leeds will win by 8. I've got it.
And that's I said they just got that little bit more. It's going to be it'll be fairly close, but I think that extra punch up front just helps them that little bit.
So you're going Leeds as well.
Yep.
7:45pm kickoff on Sky on Friday night. It's the other Hull side, Hull FC, hosting Wakefield. Even more so if Jacob Miller doesn't play, I don't see where Wakefield points are coming from. Johnston and Tupu, whether they'll be... No, we know Johnston's going to be out for a month, don't we? So whether Tupu will be back or not, I'm not sure. I can't see this being anything but a big FC win. I've got FC by 18. It could be 30.
Yeah, I think as long as they're not too tired from their running around and drop goal palooza, and people's right or left foot and toes aren't too sore, I think it will be FC by 12 points at least.
You do make a fair shout actually on that. FC obviously played that long game on Sunday, whereas Wakefield played all the way back on the Friday, and actually Wakefield stopped playing about 10 to 7 on the Friday, so they've had over a week to prepare for this one. Saturday also on Sky, 5 p.m. kickoff for us in the UK. Catalans versus Warrington. This has the potential to be the game of the week. This is the Wigan Cast at the other end of the scale was a close one to come up with a winner on. This one too, maybe.
I think so. I think the form Catalan have shown means they're probably a little bit ahead of Warrington, who've been a bit up and down, rocks and diamonds-y. I think they're probably going to have a bit more. I think with Samkins in form in particular, I'm going to go 20 points to 12.
Yeah, I've got Catalans by 7, I think. We've gone the same on them all there, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Championship game of the week, there isn't really one, so let's pick the Dewsbury derby. Bradford versus Dewsbury Sunday at 7:30. Women's Challenge Cup it is next week, so we get...
Who do you think Mark Sawyer supports in that game?
I think he supports all of Dewsbury and a minor share of Bradford. I think he's just pissed off that the crowds can't be in for it, to be honest, because it would be his biggest gate. It probably would have been even a bigger gate than the Heavy Wool derby will be. But Women's Challenge Cup it is this week. We get to see Wakefield, who we didn't see last week, and we get to see Huddersfield, who we've still not seen play in the Super League despite getting promoted to the Super League over a year and a half ago. But they don't play each other. Warrington and Huddersfield, the two new sides, they'll be on Twitch, I think, but they'll be the streamed game. But I think the game to pick out is the two sides that have got a bit of Super League experience. It's York versus Wakefield, Sunday at 3 p.m. Do you want to take us through the NRL potential Brit picks?
Yep, so it's Panthers against the Knights if Dom Young plays on Thursday at 10:50. Titans against the Rabbitohs Friday at 9 in the morning. Eels against Broncos Friday 10:55. Sharks against the Bulldogs Saturday 8:30. And the Cowboys against the Raiders Saturday 10:50 a.m.
Good stuff. Make sure you look out for links to the Google form. Get your fan views in on all and every bit of rugby league action you see over the next week for us to talk about on next week's show. We now have the wrap up. And Tim, I think you've done a quiz.
I have.
Excellent.
Okay then, time for the quiz. And I'm going to give it to you fairly easy. So this week, with the return of Women's Super League, I thought we'd do a little quiz on the Women's Super League. So, nice easy opener for you. Two sides have won the Women's Super League. Name them.
3 sides have won the Women's Super League. Bradford, Wigan and Leeds.
Oh, well, we're counting the Bradford season.
Yeah, because it was called the Super League the year before.
Okay.
Before Wigan and Leeds came into it.
Okay. Well, there we go. You can have an extra bonus point for naming that team.
Excellent.
Because according to the official records in League Express, they're not calling them that Super League season. Yeah, weird. It wasn't in the book, in the yearbook.
The one thing I can't figure out is whether Saints were Saints that year or still Thato Heath. That's the one thing I can't remember.
I think they were Thato Heath that year. Yeah. Okay, so this was going to flow a lot neater, but now you've ruined it. So Leeds and Wigan played each other in the 2018 Grand Final.
Yes.
We were there.
Yes.
This is the can you name any one of the 1, 2, 3... I'm going to say, can you name 2 of the 5 try scorers?
Rachel Thompson scored a hat-trick.
Yes.
And Georgia Wilson scored a try for Wigan. And I think...
She did. That gets you the point.
I think Becky Greenfield scored a try for Wigan, but I can't remember.
She did not.
No. And